screw this up because I have the memory of a person with no memory. What's your name again? Okay, so I just want to get this right. Oh, thank you very much for really listening to me. That's nice, I appreciate that. Okay, so she was a member of the First Amendment comedy troupe and performs daily at 60 Wall Street. Cubicle number 40-068. So please welcome Jersey City's very own Hot Tea.
Testing 1, 2. Okay, we're on. Hi, I'm T. Yeah, I'm T, right? And I'm a consumer. Mostly food. It's not my fault. I'm eating for 3. When I was born, my mother had triplets. Me, myself, and I. You know, have you ever seen those Russian nesting dolls? They put one inside the other, inside the other. Here we are. Yeah, giving birth to my mother was very, very difficult. Yeah, when we were born, she broke a record and her pelvis. Never forgiven me, never. No. Yeah, I know, by looking at me, you would never guess that I was grossly underweight. Or a size 8. Seriously, do the math, there's 3 of us. Yeah. Speaking of 3 of us, when we were growing up, it was so difficult to try and find the perfect Halloween costume. You know, our choices were very limited. 3 blind mice, 3 musketeers, and my least favorite of all, the 3 little pigs. We looked like a pig totem pole. Yeah. Speaking of pigs, anyone here have teenagers? I do. And coincidentally, my daughter was born the year of the pig. I never had to look that up. All I had to do was look in her room. Looks like Walmart on Black Friday. Yeah. Whatever you do, don't look under the bed. She thinks that's a dishwasher. Yeah. Well, the only way we could get rid of the mask was to send her away to college. Big mistake. All she learned was how to smoke. This is the kid who wanted a tattoo. So last week when she came home, I took her to get the Surgeon General's warning tattooed on the corneas of her eyes. Dr. Phil called later that day. He wanted to know why I rewarded her for such bad behavior. I said, yo, Phil, what kind of a psychiatrist are you? I said, that was a friendly reminder of the dangers of smoking. He doesn't know. You know, really, I don't know how we got a show. Damn, I just hate smoking. I hate smoking so much. Smoking makes me sick. As a matter of fact, last week I was so sick, I thought I was dying. So I told my husband I wanted to be cremated. A couple hours later, he came home with a gallon of gas, matches. Said, why wait? Oh, he's such a, what a guy. He really is. I really love him. Great guy. You know, a couple of years ago, I told him I was very, very depressed about my weight, several years ago. And I said, yo, Mike, do me a favor. He reads all the time, right? So could you find me a diet? You know, I'm really looking for a good diet. So a couple of days later, I come home. On the counter in the kitchen, the newspaper's open to an ad that read, "Burn ugly fat while you sleep." Oh, baby, the diet of my dreams. So I called up and said, listen, you got to pick that up for me on the way home from work. You know, so while I'm waiting for him, I fell asleep. And when I woke up, my bed was on fire. What's with this guy and fire? I think that's what I get for hooking up with someone on Match.net. Yeah. Match.net was around long before Match.com. It was. What I didn't know was that it was a social network for recovering pyromaniacs. Honestly, and I really think he's recovered. I do. I think he just really wants to be able to go to work and tell the guys that his wife is really hot. Hot tea, baby! And I am hot. I am really, really hot. And it's because of those changes. You know the changes, the flashes, the night sweats. Oh my God, I'm sweating right now. And the passing of gas. Nobody talks about the gas. Nobody except my acupuncturist. He's always talking about the gas. Yeah. When I first met him, he looks at me and he goes, You are not fat! You're full of air. And I'm going to deflate you. And I'm going, yo, Dr. Ma, you're going to deflate me? With needles? I said, Dr. Ma, I am human. I am not Zeppelin. Like a Zeppelin. Pricked for the very first time, like a Zeppelin. Put your needles in my spine. Well, actually, I'm kind of Zeppelin-like, but that's probably from eating Zeppelins, because I'm Italian, and that's what we do. We eat Zeppelins. Yeah. Well, let me see, I ate Zeppelins, and I don't know, I'm not hungry anymore. No, but anyway. So, I remember that he actually, at one point, he used these hollow needles. And I remember the first time he inserted the hollow needle, he jumps back and he screams, "The air that's coming from that needle smells like intestinal gas!" I went, oh my God, great. Scientific proof that my husband was right. He always said I was full of shit. Well, he ought to know. We've been together for a very long time, real long time. And people always say, you know, how do you keep your marriage alive? Well, I guess I can sum it up in one word. Viagra. That's it, baby. And it really works. It worked so well for him, he had to go out and buy larger shoes. Oh yeah. How do you think the legend of Bigfoot got started? Honest to God. And why is everybody always looking for him, right? Let me tell you. I've been telling you for years. You're looking for Bigfoot in all the wrong places. All you need to do is buy a mailing list from Zappos. Do a search on men's shoe sizes 11 and up, extra wide. A lot of my single friends took my advice, and they were satisfied by the results. There they were. Anyway, another reason why we probably stayed together this long is because he never knows who he's going to be sleeping with that night. You know, oh my God. I think he's a polygamist. You know, like Big Love. Did you ever see the show Big Love? Big Love's great. That's what my house is like. Big Love without the compound, praising the Lord, or the murders. At least up until now, no one's been murdered. Fortunately for him, we all like him. And all for different reasons. One of us is a recovering sex addict. And of course, she's his favorite. One of us likes to mother him. And me, I'm just with him for the money. I love the money because I love to shop. I especially like buying that stuff, that as seen on TV stuff. You ever see that stuff? That's great stuff, right? Yeah. And, you know, and I've always wanted to get into show business. So what happens is when I buy that stuff, somewhere in my twisted little mind, I think I finally made it. Anyway. You know, my whole family likes to shop. We have 4 kids. I only had 2 of them. And I know I only had 2 of them because I only like 2 of them. The other 2 have to belong to my sisters. Mommy this, mommy that. Shut up! I just wish they would shut up and leave us alone. Kids will never shut up. Yeah, they'll never leave you alone. I know.